Microsoft just closed its acquisition of Activision Blizzard for almost $70 billion.
Microsoft's completed its $69 billion purchase of Activision Blizzard.
This is one of the biggest acquisitions in history and the biggest one in tech, especially one dealing with the gaming industry.
I feel good about the progress that we've been making.
The exciting thing is that we actually sold to a company that has a history almost as long as ours.
That's a lot of cash for a video game company, but it would make Microsoft the owners of Call of Duty, World of Warcraft, Overwatch, and Candy Crush. Those are some of the world's most popular video games with millions of players spending billions of dollars on subscriptions and in-game purchases.
Does this affect the ecosystem if it doesn't go through?
It does affect the ecosystem.
So why did Microsoft pay so much for a gaming company? In this video, we're going to break it down into 3 parts. How does the valuation work? What's the interest in this gaming company? And what are some of the economics of the deal? Hello everyone, my name is Antonio. I'm a finance manager at Google, and in this channel we talk about everything about business and tech. Let's talk valuations for a second. To set the stage, let me give you some context or a baseline for an acquisition. When I was working at GE 5 years ago, one of the biggest conglomerates in the world, at least at that time, GE acquired a French company called Alstom for $14 billion. It was a company that had 30,000 employees and multiple steam power plants around the world. It provided heavy-duty equipment that required a lot of engineering and manufacturing muscle to be put in use and provide millions of people with electricity and power generation capability. Contrast that with what Activision Blizzard does. Their primary business model is to develop games for PC, console, and smartphones, 100% entertainment. It has almost 10,000 employees and generated $8 billion in revenue in 2020, almost the same as Alstom when it was purchased. So why is there such a massive discrepancy in the valuation? Well, let's start by clarifying that there are a lot of ways to determine a company's enterprise value. You have the discounted cash flow model, you can do multiples of revenue or EBITDA or some comparable transactions. However, regardless of the method that the acquirer chooses, they need to come up with an estimate of how much the company is worth considering all aspects in a highly volatile and uncertain business world. Industry dynamics, economic landscape, market fit, synergies, culture, many things more. Once this value has been agreed upon internally, the buyer needs to calculate and decide whether the synergies that this acquisition will create are bigger than the cost of acquiring the whole enterprise. If this is the case, 9 times out of 10, the buyer will offer to pay a premium or goodwill for those who like accounting terms. So what are the synergies that Microsoft saw in this deal? Well, let's understand Microsoft and its gaming industry in the context of the entire portfolio. Gaming, as of 2022, is a $16 billion business in a $200 billion enterprise. That's 8% of the portfolio. They have 25 million subscribers to their Xbox Game Pass, which allows gamers to access exclusive and other games on a subscription basis. They are a key player in the cloud space, which is pivotal when it comes to scaling a business that has a growing monthly active user base. They are also an important player in the virtual and augmented reality space with HoloLens 2, and let's not forget they've doubled down on building the metaverse, which in a gaming context would create a much more immersive and realistic experience for its subscriber base in the future. Now let's look at Activision Blizzard and what it contributes to Microsoft. They're an $8 billion business with an outstanding lineup of games, Call of Duty, World of Warfare, Candy Crush. They have 400 million monthly active players who are, most importantly, an extremely loyal fan base. And they have been at the forefront pushing gaming to the next level using their studios. Just look at how the first Call of Duty in 2003 looked like compared to the Battlefield sequel in 2022. Massive difference. All of these factors, when put in a pot and cooked at the right temperature, could yield a very lucrative return for Microsoft. It would create a reliable recurring revenue stream, regardless if they make the games exclusive or not. They would get more subscriptions, and the more subscriptions you have, the more complementary products you could offer to enhance the gaming experience and create further stickiness to the platform. Now let's crunch some numbers to see the magnitude of the economics of this deal. The Xbox Game Pass costs $10 per month. That's $120 per year for one user. If we assume that their 25 million subscribers pay this fee, that would mean that this revenue stream within gaming generates about $3 billion per year. If they converted 50 million of the 400 million active users from Activision into loyal paying customers in Xbox Game Pass. That's a 12.5% conversion rate. That means they would generate $6 billion per year. Multiply that by 10 years and you have $60 billion. Almost the amount they paid for. In other words, it's a payback period of 10 years. Not bad. Just with those simple numbers and other qualitative factors, such as the fact that gaming will expand almost $100 billion in market value by 2025, that 5G will enable better and faster gaming experiences in mobile devices, and the rapid advancement of virtual reality hardware, and many more, that 46% purchase premium that Microsoft paid for Activision does not sound so crazy after all. And that's why they bought them. But back to my original question. Why is there such a big discrepancy between an industrial and a technology company valuation? Well, tech companies are positioned in an industry that has had an excellent trajectory. There are failures and successes, of course, but think of the magnitude of the successes. The companies that have exceeded the 1 trillion valuation are the Apples, Microsofts, and Googles of the world. Why? Because they generate a huge scale by being user-based. Think about Facebook and TikTok, how they have more than 1 billion users who create value for multiple stakeholders and themselves, whether that is through advertising, gaming, or sponsorships and partnerships with bigger firms. Also, they have access to unprecedented economic support for research and development to unlock untapped potential in areas that will take technology to the next level. Quantum computing, AI, robotics, you name it. Is it fair that entertainment and gaming companies are valued more highly than those that provide access to electricity in the most remote parts of the world? That's up for debate. But one thing is for sure, at least for now, the dollars are flowing to the gaming world. This might not be the last acquisition we see in this space. Exciting times ahead. If you liked that video, smash that like button, consider subscribing, and I will see you in the next video. Ciao.